GETTYDavid Davis has written to Mr Corbyn urging him to axe 18 Labour MEPs who supported blocking Brexit. South West MEP Julie Girling and South East MEP Richard Ashworth were stripped of the Tory whip last night after supporting a resolution in Strasbourg to stall Brexit negotiations. Brexit Secretary David Davis has now written to Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn urging him to remove the whip from 18 Labour MEPs who also backed the European Parliament's vote to block the Brexit process. He has also written to Lib Dem leader Sir Vince Cable. In his letter to Mr Corbyn, Mr Davis said this non-binding vote by the European Parliament sends a signal about the importance each side attaches to agreeing a future partnership. The Conservative Party therefore instructed our MEPs to vote against the motion and in favour of the UK's national interest, and have removed the whip from those who refuse to do so. While I would not expect opposition political parties to agree with us all the time about the end state we seek, it is a self-evident part of the national interest to support a discussion about our future relationship with Europe. So I was disappointed that 18 Labour MEPs voted against moving the negotiations on to the next stage. Will you follow suit and take action against the MEPs from your party who voted against the best future for the UK and the EU? Or is this the official position of the Labour Party? South West MEP Julie Girling was axed after supporting a resolution in Strasbourg to stall Brexit. The whip was removed following consultation between European Parliament Chief Whip Dan Dalton and Downing Street. It means the rogue MEPs have been effectively banished by the party. It comes after the pair backed a resolution last week that would delay Brexit talks progressing to trade discussions. Will you follow suit and take action against the MEPs from your party who voted against the best future for the UK and the EU? Or is this the official position of the Labour Party? David Davis. Although the vote is advisory, it comes despite signs of renewed momentum in the wake of the Prime Minister's speech in Florence last month. The resolution calls for trade talks not to begin until Britain makes major concessions over Northern Ireland, the EU divorce bill and the European Court. It calls for the European Court to remain the sole and competent authority for enforcing and interpreting EU law in the withdrawal agreement for millions of European citizens living in Britain. Theresa May also axed South East MEP Richard Ashworth. It also calls for Northern Ireland to remain within the customs union and single market, and insists that substantial progress be made on the financial settlement before entering into discussions on other issues. In his letter to the two MEPs, Chief Whip Mr Dalton said the Brexit negotiations are the most important our country faces, and reaching a new partnership with the European Union is in the interests of both the UK and the EU. September 13, 2017. The resolution sought to delay progress in the negotiations. It also proposed that one part of the UK, Northern Ireland, could remain in the single market and customs union, while the rest of the UK departs, which is not acceptable. Given the seriousness of this issue and your failure to discuss your intention in advance, I am suspending the Conservative whip until further notice. GETTYDavid claimed he was disappointed that Labour MEPs voted against moving Brexit negotiations forward. Ashworth, a former group leader, and Girling, a former chief whip, broke ranks with a 21-strong group of Conservative MEPs to back the resolution tabled by Arch Federalist Guy Verhofstadt. They were joined by the Labour MEPs, the only Lib Dem, Plaid Cymru and Sinn Féin MEPs, and a Green European parliamentarian. A government source said the withdrawal of the Tory whip had been backed by Downing Street because the MEPs had behaved totally irresponsibly.